What did I tell you, Shay? I knew he'd not come in person.
Hush, Jack, hush. Conklin, he did send you, didn't he?
I told you, it's a trick. I knew Conklin wouldn't come. He sent one of his cronies instead. I'm her brother. And Conklin, because of him, Shayla's had to leave everything and everyone she knows.
Jack, don't.
That son of a bitch. She was his maid. I'm her brother. And 5,000, do you hear? Dollars.
Meet us here again. At 1 tonight.
$5,000. Then he'll get it.
We'll be waiting for you.
Come in. I'd hoped to meet you earlier. However, my wife and I were calling on the Astors. Madeline's pregnant. Beatrix was thrilled. We have no children. I see. It's a ransom. May I present Mrs. Conkling?
You should pitch the ungrateful girl overboard. Your clothes, French cut, quite fetching. Delighted to meet you.
Beatrix is on her way to California. She's got a new project in... Where is it, dear?
A cow town, someplace called Los Angeles. I'm doing up a little resort there. It's called the Beverly Hills Hotel. So, where is the Irish tart? Dreaming of her newfound riches?
We were just talking about that, darling.
My husband and myself extended every courtesy, showed every kindness to Shayla. We've no children. Shayla became quite dear to us. So her theft hurt us all the more for the trust we placed in her. Don't fail us. Now, excuse me, I must retire. I have a frightful headache. It was a pleasure. Good night. Andrew?
My wife felt strongly about Shayla. As I've told you, we'd no children of our own. Look, you must get that letter. Don't wait until tomorrow. See if you can speak to Shayla directly, without her brother. She's in the third-class cabins forward, on F deck, number 59. Good night. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Enter. I wasn't sure you'd come. Andrew Conkling? He's loaned money to Charles. A lot of it, I think. First, I want to know how you fared these last years. Rather well from the looks of you. I'm glad to see you. You're the only person I can trust. Please promise me you'll help. You always were there when I needed you. Now, with my life a horrible mess. When Charles discovered my affair with Saoirse, he was quite calm. But I know him, you see. His revenge is taking the necklace, leaving me with nothing. And Saoirse, I'd never trust him again. Don't you see? They're looking for guns, for bombs. At a party last June, Saoirse was quite passionate. A Slavic trait, I'm told. His mother came from Belgrade. I fell in love. We used to meet at his gallery, but we were never alone. They'd come at all hours. Saoirse's friends, His gallery was their London base. They were rough men, foreign. Sasha told me they were part of a Balkan aid society. Stupid girl that I was, I believed him. But then I found out. These people, they... Charles!
Please, Georgia, continue. Was it my title or my income you found so desirable? I was never sure. Now that both assets are depleted, why don't you go to Sasha? Maybe he can help, as he's done before.
Ignore him. I see the smoking room's had its usual effect.
Idle gossip, apparently.
You see his attitude? Please, go.
Since she obviously can't depend on me. Here, take the chill out of the air. Thank you for seeing after my wife. Now I think it best you leave the happy couple, drowning in their happiness. Good night.
Remember, I need your help.
Still wondering? This ship holds a strange fascination for you. Most peculiar. I have a message from a young German gentleman by the name of Haderlitz. He would like to meet you in the squash court. They've opened it for him. Highly irregular, I must say, especially for fencing. Yes, apparently he does not favor racket sports. Surely he is. The percentage of passengers demanding the courts late on a Sunday night is small. Minuscule, actually. If memory serves me, there is an entrance to the squash courts on D-deck. Meanwhile, I shall inform the young German gentleman that you will meet him presently.
Hello. Georgia, afraid of me? Well, that would be a reaction at least. We no longer evoke emotion in each other. We're husband and wife in name only. You may have heard I am in financial straits. I've borrowed money from Andrew Conkling, money that he is now demanding I pay back. I've none to give. Poverty should remain the domain of the virtuous. I've no taste for it. To tell you. No, I shall fix things first. And without Georgia. Another drink? Another whiskey for, Hope you don't mind if I do. Now, you, want to know some secrets. Thank you, bartender. I'll tell you one. George's diamond necklace. It's a fake. The one on her neck, leastways. I gave the real necklace to Sasha. It's in his cabin for safekeeping. When he gets to New York, he'll sell it, quickly and quietly, for a 20% commission. I'll pay off my debts to Conkling, put Georgia away, sail back to England free and clear. She's unstable, as you know, so I'm placing her in a sanatorium. Easy thing to do, given her emotional history. The law favors the husband in these matters. She can do nothing about it. God forbid the suffragettes really do win women the vote. They'll never know their place again. Because I threatened to tell Scotland Yard about his Serbian Aid Society, and because Sasha's a greedy bastard, he'd betray his love for 20%. And Georgia thinks she's outsmarted me. No, she's got a fake about her neck and doesn't know. Another? Good night, then. You'll sleep well. The whiskey and the sea are both smooth for a change.
Thank you for coming. I do not meet so many people on the Titanic. It is a pity. I like the English. I wish I knew more of them. Now you have the opportunity of fencing with me, 3-time champion of my university. You are also an excellent athlete, yes? The Colonel is very seldom confused about anything. You will play. If you win, perhaps, I relate to you some stories. En garde. Allez. Touchez. Allons-y. Et là. Allons-y. Touchez. Allez. Touchez. Allons-y. Ah, verdammt. Allons-y. Ah, verdammt. Allez. Et là. You are the loser. How unfortunate. The Titanic, how quickly she is moving. The engines are loud here. We are nearing the Grand Banks. The Vikings thought this part of the North Atlantic cursed. Even modern sailors call it the Devil's Hole, a place of deadly surprises. Things aren't always what they seem, yes? Like me, for example. I am German, but I am also a friend to others. En garde. Allez. Sehr gut. Allez. Et là. Allons-y. Touchez. Allez. Ah. Allez. Sehr gut. Allons-y. Et là. Allez. Touchez. Allez. Ah. Allez. Touchez. You are the loser. How unfortunate. You do? Remember, only one thing is certain, and the rest is lies. It is a quote from an old book I had the recent opportunity to read. But I tell you more. I am associate professor at the University of Vienna. I document the mythos, the legends of mankind. I'm on my way to New Mexico to study the Yoni Indians under Dr. van der Plaars. I am interested in what Dr. Freud calls the unconscious mind, what happens below the surface of experience. Tell me, what frightens you more, fire or ice? The ancient Aryans believed man would see 4 ages. According to them, this is now the Wolf Age, an age that ends with ice. After the Wolf Age ends, mankind shall experience a fire that will burn for 2 generations. Clearly a metaphor for a war we must all try to prevent. Yes? Why do you assume he is interested in paintings? Yes, art. That is what I meant. And you are mistaken. Colonel Seidel cares little for art, unlike his friend Herr Barbicon. I notice he likes old Vienna, for he has many pictures of the city. If the fire comes, my friends will favor the English over Germany. Another match? En garde. Allons-y. Ah. Allons-y. Ah. Allez. Sehr gut. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y. Sehr gut. Alle. Ach, verdammt. You fence well. You are a great athlete. Very good. You have proven yourself, and I must confide in you. Colonel Zeitler suspects I fail my friends most in Germany. He's right. Another match? En garde. Allons-y. Et là. Allons-y. Ah, verdammt. Allons-y. Touchez. Allez. Ah. Allons-y. Ah. Allons-y. Et là. Allez. Touchez. Allons-y. Ah. Allez. Et là. You are the loser. How unfortunate. Another match? En garde. Allons-y. Et là. Allez. Sehr gut. Allons-y. Et là. Allons-y. Ah. Allez. Ah, verdammt. Allons-y. Sehr gut. Allez. Ah. You are a great athlete. Take this in friendship. May it bring you luck. A thing I fear we shall all need. But if anything should happen to me, I trust you will know what to do. Another match? Let us meet later. I will tell you more. For now, keep the ring. I bid you good night.
You've arrived. I was expecting you. Don't think we've met. I'm Leyland Sekum Trask, metaphysical scribe and evangelist for the supernatural. I was just holding court with these two ladies. Honor and glory. Crowning time. They say 100 wood carvers worked on the Titanic. Such effort. Now in such danger. Yes, for the ship, and for a mutual acquaintance. I visited with a very nice woman in second class, a Mrs. Hart. Won't sleep a wink at night, she says, because something dreadful is about to happen. She believes to call this ship unsinkable flies in the face of God, and such arrogance will be punished. I see your friend, Willy von Haderlitz. He is in very great danger. The ring. Yes, did you notice the Russian characters on the inside band? Willy has a hidden life. There's a girl, a pretty girl. Haderlitz knows her. Show her the ring. She'll help you. Good luck. Good night.
Yes? You want something? It's Willie's ring. Willie, what's happened? Something bad, hasn't it? Something to Willie. He told me if I ever received this ring, I was to know that whoever gave it to me was a friend, and to tell them about the notebook, that they should find it. Willie's hidden a notebook on board, that's all I know. Now what about Willie? Is he hurt? Oh, he told me jokes. Bad ones, but he made me laugh. Not like Mama's friends. Mama, she doesn't like Germans, unless they've a title to their name. But I like Willie a lot. May I have it? The ring? Thank you. I'll never forget this. Willie's in trouble. Please help him if you can.
Quickly, there's not much time. Willie Hadelitz is dead, electrocuted in the Turkish bath. I heard one of the officers talking about it. This may not have been an accident. Apparently, someone wants that painting badly enough to kill for it. Do you have it? Smashing. Splendid job. Look here, on the back. It's a plan for Allied troop deployment in France. If Germany ever invaded, they'd have destroyed us. No wonder Hadelitz was killed. Well, Berlin won't get this now. Leave the painting with the purser. He'll keep it with the Rubaiyat. Young Hadelitz, a Tsarist spy? It's beginning to become clear. Quite possibly. We need more information about the murder. A notebook. Zeitel's previous mission was aiding a band of Russian revolutionaries called Bolsheviks who want to overthrow the Tsar. The Germans would like nothing better than to see chaos in Russia. I'll bet that notebook's got names of Russian radicals. Such a list would be very important to the Okhrana, the Russian secret police. With it, they'd root out the Bolshevik ringleaders and eliminate a threat to the Tsar, which would certainly help the rest of us. If Hadelitz was murdered, you'll need protection. Here, this pen releases a single burst of knockout gas when opened. Find that notebook. It could be vitally important. And give that painting to the purser. Go investigate the situation at the Turkish bath. Move.
Most regrettable. Most regrettable indeed. The young German gentleman, dead. In the electric bath. Quite unanticipated. He was alive. Most vocally, too, just a few hours before, arguing with someone on B deck. The gentleman's voice was unfamiliar. About a painting. He'd misplaced it. And the other gentleman wanted to know where it was. Yes, I believe Dr. O'Loughlin is waiting to move him, so as not to alarm the other passengers. It is, I must warn you, a most unpleasant sight. Very good. This is most irregular. Most irregular indeed.
What have you heard? Anything? Tell me. A passenger, a young German, gone and dropped dead on us in the electric baths. Dr. O'Loughlin's there now. Do? Bloody well nothing. Not till New York. The rest of the passengers must not be alarmed. Ismay is going to raise hell when he hears. And I thought this would be an easy trip. Be my guest. Mind you, it's not pretty. Now if you'll excuse me.
that you? I'll be right out. I don't want to wake the baby. But we were meeting later. Please, I don't want no trouble. I didn't know the letter was so dear. I just wanted to take something, anything that looked valuable. For the baby. It was Jack who read it. Saw it was bad for Mr. Conkling. He said the bit about selling bad steel would ruin him if it was to get out in the papers. Anyway, Jack, he says Mr. Conkling got the letter from an engineer up at the mill. Said the mill's been making bad steel. High in sulfur is what he called it. The steel's no good, and they put it in the Titanic. It'd be a scandal if it got out. That's why Mr. Conklin wants the letter back. But Jack, he says Conklin'll have to pay us to get it. $5,000. Huh, Mrs. Conklin's probably behind it. All she cares about is a fine name and pots of cash. And a baby. But she won't get Eddie. No, she won't. And if she tries, I'll ruin her. Make her poor as me. My baby, Eddie. He's the only reason I stood them last month at the Conklings. I knew Mr. Conklin weren't going to leave his missus. I was only a parlour maid, but I didn't care. I was happy to have his baby. Him and Mrs. Conklin, I thought they was so kind, until I found out. That Mrs. Conklin was going to steal my baby for her own. Once I had it, she would fire me and take Eddie for herself. She can't have her own babies. So they used me to get one, to get Eddie. When I found out that was her plan, I left. I didn't know the letter was anything. I thought it might hold £1 or £2. Oh, that's Eddie. Bye. Don't forget about our meeting.
Christ almighty wonder! You has a face ache, ain't you? Rooming the ship, hooking your nose into everyone's business. Just who do you take me for now? One of those la-di-da millionaires up top? Jack Hacker keeps his word, honors his promises. When I saw you coming, I says to myself, they'll be wanting to know about him. The foreign gentleman, German I suspect, a remedy nervous type he was too. Give me a bob and told me to tell whoever asked to repeat the phrase word for word. You want to hear it now? But still the vine her ancient ruby yields, and still a garden by the water blows. Yeah, that's it. Here, he wrote it down. What's it mean anyway? Some rich man's game you play? You can have it. Just tell Conklin we want the money tonight.
Yes, can I help you? A painting, is it? I'll put this in the safe. What can I do for you? Thank you. I shall return with your valuables in a moment. Your book. I had to move Mrs. Brown's Egyptian statues to get it. Glad to be of service. Yes, can I help you? Very nice. Security is our first priority. I'll put it in the safe. Very good, then.
Yoo-hoo! Did you hear? J.P. Morgan, he owns the White Star Line. He was to be on board. At the last moment, he took the cure in France instead. Why do you suppose? Has the ship sprung a leak? I'll scare myself to death. Everyone knows the Titanic's unsinkable. Why, it's the Harrises.
Don't mind if I do. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, I always say. Gave a pack of these to the German kid early tonight. He's an odd one. While we was docked in Queenstown, I saw him on top of one of the smokestacks. The last one, right at the top. Who knows what he was up to? Looked like he was hiding something. Crazy crowd kid.
You can't go no further. Officer Morrow's in no mood to accommodate passengers right now. He's misplaced his binoculars, and he's in a right proper state about it too. Good night.
God has moved his mighty hand against the wicked. Gambling, lewdness, and a mixing of the classes are repaid with fire. You have heard the news? Young Hadelitz has gone to meet his maker. Or someone else, eh? They say the electric bath has never malfunctioned before. Believe me, it wasn't the voltage, but the cleansing work of the Lord. I'm looking forward to talking with you about the mission. Thank you so much. I will call on you tomorrow. Good evening.
Oh, surprised me you did. It's a lonely post here. Cold adds to it. And break your neck? The entrance is below decks. Only the lads in the engine room can get to it. Climb the smokestack. We're sipping a little too much brandy tonight, aren't we?
Yes, what now? This area's off limits. No passengers allowed. Ah, my binoculars. Thank you. Borrowed them from Fleet earlier tonight. He's up in the crow's nest. Hope he has another pair with him. Oh, guess I left them somewhere. Thanks again. Well, I suppose it's all right. Just don't touch. Good night. I think you've seen enough. Seaman, check course. Now I remember why passengers aren't allowed on the bridge.
Evening. I'm the lift attendant. And you'll not find one better at taking you where you want to go. Where to? Mind the gate. Up a bit late, aren't you? Just like Mr. Conklin. He's a night owl too. Just a little ways more.
Hello. Just seeing to the electric. The fuse box there. She said we've had no time to check her wiring. ADEC's been complaining about the lights all night. We'll get her straightened right out. That is if I can find my screwdriver. Wager I forgot it below. Dawn now. Be right back.
I say, have you seen a steward? The lights have gone out in my cabin. Damnedest thing. Excuse me, I'm going to get some help. What are you doing in my cabin? You must leave immediately. You need to tend to your own affairs. Fortunately, you've left my valuables undisturbed.
Yes? The lounge is closed for the night. We'd open it again only in an emergency, which we are not experiencing at the moment. Good night.
Well done. Listen, I've discovered the only way into the smokestack. Through the engine room. Find that notebook. Helping the Tsar will help us too.
Oh, she's still running rough. Right. There's a gauge showing the turbine's power output. The needle's got to move into the green zone. Cheers, mate.
You have interfered in my affairs for the last time. You are the one who stole the Rubaiyat. And Sasha's painting. I know you have it. Prepare to die at the hands of Serbia.
I think that notebook is for me. Please. I know exactly who you are. The agents have our secrets, yes? Thank you for finding it. Willie would have appreciated your effort. Cold, isn't it? I've maintained climate is the crucible of civilization. Culture blooms in the temperate. It is the tropic and Arctic zones which breed barbarism. Russia, for instance. In that notebook are names of anti-Tsarist Russians, revolutionaries living in exile. Germany supports these men. They are called communists. We provide assistance, small courtesies, and, wherever possible, financial encouragement. One of these men is moving to Krakow. Dave would kill them. Secretly, of course, but kill them just the same. Thank you. These names won't be disembarking in New York. Neither, I am afraid, are you.